We're going to do something a little different here. We're going to give you a 2-act play with some stuff in between. How about that? Not like your normal presentation. All right, so we're going to get started now.
So I recognize this guy. He's come into my store before, and I've helped him pick up a few things that he needed to fix his disposal that was broken. He's sort of a do-it-yourselfer. Mr. T-Bolt, how you doing?
Not so good today.
Not a good day? More trouble with the disposal?
Yeah, a piece of junk's not working again. I'm thinking I just got to replace it.
Yeah, I kind of think the last time we were thinking you might wanted to do that. Did I tell you the story about what happened with my disposal? Christmas exploded. No, I didn't tell you that story? Yeah. So everybody's over, the kids are there. One of the kids puts a ham bone down into the disposal, turns it on, doesn't put the water on. Next thing, smoke, crashing, wife hysterical, and it's Christmas. It wasn't a good day. So it's a good thing that I work in the appliance store. Came in, next day, found Bob. Bob's a smart guy, knows a lot about disposals, hooked me all up, showed me how to do it. I actually took it home, did it myself that night. Everything was all straightened out. It was no big deal.
Oh.
In fact, Bob's here, and we have a whole bunch of new stuff, good disposals. If you want, we can go over and take a look at them now.
That sounds great, but I got a bunch of shopping to do. Can you show me where they are?
Yeah. So they're in aisle 4, take a look around, do whatever you need to do. We're here if you want help, no problem.
Oh, that's awesome.
Let us know.
I think it's really going to help me out this time.
Hey, Bob. T-Bolt, remember him? Yeah, we got him that, right, didn't work. He's back. I think he's going to need a new disposal, so when he comes over, if you see him over in aisle 4, if I don't get to him first, make sure you get to him. And, be nice. He was here before. He's a good customer. All right, thanks, man. Thanks.
All right, so what we just see right there was a face-to-face interaction that we do every day. Everybody has these things. As a matter of fact, I bet that you out in the audience have seen tons of these, have been involved with tons of these, unless, of course, you live in a cave and you only come to really cool rep talks like presentations like this. So the value of this, what's important about this is the value of relationships, right? Relationships do have value. Some are strong, some are weak, some are good, some are bad. In this situation, I'm not sure I'd really want to be Bob because Joe is pretty pissed off. But what does this all mean to an organization? That's the key. And I promise you, what we're going to do is we're going to go through that little act we just did. And we're going to break it down into all the important parts of the relationship that equate to value. But what we need to do first is we need to figure out how to measure the value of a relationship for an organization. And we bet that you probably don't have just one relationship. You probably have 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000. And they all want to talk to you at the same time. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a step back and we're going to look at a way to measure a single relationship. And then Kirby's going to walk you through a process that gets you to measure all the relationships for your organization.
All right, so what we did is we went out and did a bunch of research to understand individual relationships, how organizations like the one we just saw here, the little hardware store, and companies like Amazon develop one-to-one relationships with individuals. And what we found is that there's 4 elements of a relationship that matter, or that give you a sense of the power, the potential power that an individual can have in a relationship with you in the digital world, right? So the first one is how frequently they interact digitally. So how chatty are they, right? How many relationships are they involved in, and how chatty are they? The second one is how deep are the interactions online? Are they giving you a thumbs up? Are they saying good job? Or are they writing a Yelp article about the new restaurant in town? So how deep is their interaction online? The next one is the scale. So how many followers do they have? Or how many friends do they have? How many people could they potentially influence? Right? And the fourth one is how often do they speak about things that matter to you? So what keywords or what words do they use, comments do they make that have something to do with your business, right? If they're writing about rap and you're in the automotive business, maybe it doesn't matter that they have all 3 of the other characteristics that are very high. So we came up with a way to measure those things through observation and through an algorithm that we call the Relo-Watt equation. And by doing that, we can figure out the potential value of an individual. Now, the thing that's really cool about having a Relo-Watt understanding is that if you have a marketing automation platform like Marketo or anything else, you can add a field based on the relowatt potential of an individual. So the contact, now you know, has the potential for having a very strong or very weak relationship online, digital relationship with you and with a bunch of other people. So that gives you another piece of information about that person when they come and interact with you. The second thing which we came up with is a concept that if you take those individuals and all those Joes that are out there and the Josephines, and you look at them collectively and by the thousands and the millions, you can come up with what we call a network relationship value score. So the network relationship value score is really the average of the strength, the weakness, and the positives and the negatives of all of the relationships that an individual organization has. And this works for political campaigns, and it works for companies, and it works for anything in between. It works for churches. It's all of the relationships that an organization has, positive or negative, weak or strong. And what it allows you to do in one snapshot, like NPS allows you to look at your customers and know who would recommend you and who wouldn't. This gives you a sense of how optimal you are as an organization at managing all types of relationships that you might have, whether they're prospects, even customers of your competitors who are speaking about things that matter to you and how you manage those relationships. So when you put them all together, we can give you a single score you can measure every week, every month, every year about how you're doing, just like you can with NPS. How good are you at managing relationships? Now, why does it matter? Well, think about it this way. If you know all the thousands and the millions of relationships that you have with individuals, and you can divvy them up and segment them into targeted groups, you can treat them differently. So here's a very simple targeting. And those of you who are in the segmentation and targeting business will come up with much more complicated ways to do it, but in 15 minutes, here's an easy way to think about it. If you have someone who has a very strong potential relationship with you, or with anyone who has a very strong relationship potential, speaks a lot, deep speak online, reacts with a lot of people, has a big network, and they don't like you, that's a dangerous individual. Right? You need to have a marketing plan to protect yourself, convert them, get them to like you more, attack their character. You need to do something to protect yourself. On the other hand, let's say you have somebody who has a very positive by the way, the S is sentiment. Do they like you or don't they like you? Sorry, I should have explained that. So let's say they have a very strong sentiment, but they have a very weak relowatt score, very weak potential for influencing anybody or networking with other people. What do you want to do with them? You want to increase their relowatt score, right? You want to give them opportunities to get on TripAdvisor or Yelp, or give them a reward for liking you on Facebook, or a million other things that you could come up with to raise the potential relowatt value of that individual. You certainly wouldn't want to do that for somebody on the left-hand side, but you would on the right. So it's a very simple way of looking at how you would develop marketing programs based on that one simple understanding of who it is that you're interacting with and what their interaction has been with the rest of the digital marketplace.
Exactly. Back to that first act, the thing that we found out were there were 9 characteristics of any relationship, whether physical or digital. And if you could figure out how to maximize those 9 things, you can better move people around that map that Kirby just walked you through. So the first one is need. I walked into the hardware store, I had a need. But it wasn't just for a product, it was for somebody to help me. I had a history. Kirby and I shared a history together. He'd helped me before. I knew who he was. He knew who I was. There was a connection there. Curation. That store got together all the garbage disposals I could ever want to look at. Right? I didn't have to go to different places to find it. Now, I apologize. It's really hard to find a photograph with a lot of garbage disposal, so you guys get guitars. Faces. It was a face-to-face interaction. I could see his face, he could see mine, I could see how he responded to what I said, he could see how I responded to what he said. It's really important. There's a lot of science that we've written about in a book about face-to-face interaction and why faces are so critical. He told a story. He actually told a story that connected with me emotionally, right? It brought us together, it drew us closer together, created more history because we shared a moment. And again, a lot of story behind why stories are so important, right? The science here is amazing. But that created authenticity. So I really thought Kirby was looking out for my best interest. He wasn't there to just sell me a product and get me out of the store. He was there to really help me. He was my friend. And that, of course, creates a consistent experience. That consistent experience is when he radioed Joe, hey, Mr. Tebow's going down to the garbage disposal aisle. Make sure that if he needs anything, somebody is there. So I know what kind of experience I was going to get every time I get into the store. And that, of course, creates a credible environment, right? It's all about trust. I believe these people. I believe this store, which is why I go there instead of going to Home Depot. And finally, there was true helpfulness, right? When I was standing there, Kirby didn't drag me by my hand to the garbage disposal aisle. He listened to what I wanted to do. And I said, hey, I got a bunch of shopping to do. I'll get back to you later. And that's the important part of this. Now, instead of showing you, instead of telling you how you translate those 9 characteristics to the digital space, we're going to show you how to do that with Act 2 of our awesome play. And we know that Shakespeare right now is rolling in his grave, but bear with us.
We're going to try to show you. Okay.
And I'm handicapped with a holding mic, so I apologize. Ugh, I hate searching for stuff. I wonder if this hardware store has a good website. Oh, awesome. They have like 20 different garbage disposals. Wonder which one I should choose. Oh, cool. They have installation videos. I wonder which one is the easiest to install, and what does it mean, horsepower? Man, I wish I could talk with somebody. Oh, let's see what people on Facebook and Twitter have to say. Wait a minute. I wonder if the hardware store has Facebook and Twitter. Bet they can answer my questions.
Bing. You have mail. Hello, hardware store. The 90s wants their email back. Okay, oh, wait a minute. It looks like somebody's having problems with their garbage disposal. I bet it's that Mr. T-Bold again. Let me check the CRM system. Oh, it is. It's Mr. T-Bold.
I don't know what horsepower means or which garbage disposal to purchase. Can you guys help? I'm looking for easy to install.
Oh, it's do it yourself, Mr. T-Bold again. Of course we can help. Horsepower is about how strong the motor is. That is how much stuff you can put down it, not including ham bones. But there are other quieter motors available. Some of them have soundproofing. Look, there's some videos on the website. I'll give you some pointers to how to get there. And we can, if you want, we can link you to a page that shows you how to install this stuff.
Bing. Wow, that was fast. I'll have to look at those videos. I wonder if they can tell me how long it will install. Can you tell me which one is easiest
yes,
to
you idiot.
install?
We can tell you. Oh, no, sorry. I'm sure it might be easier if we start a chat session, though. Jump on the website, hit the chat button. Let's do it that way. That way I can help you in real time. Otherwise, if you want to look around, that's fine, too. I think these are the simplest ones to install.
Bing. Chat session. Wow, that would make it easier. I'll get right to that.
Okay, and here, there's a few other customer stories online, too. You can actually see some people who are using the machines. You can listen to the sounds that they make when they actually grind stuff up, and that'll help you make some decisions. Anyway, I'll look for you for your chat request, and I'm ready to help you anytime you need it.
Wow, these guys are awesome. I can't wait to tell all my Facebook and Twitter friends.
All right, as stupid as that sounded, sorry. He wrote it, I didn't. No, I'm only kidding. There really actually is a lot of science behind all this, and we did do quite a bit of research. This is a book from Wiley that's coming out on the 24th of September of February. Just since you all stayed, and because we kept you from the cocktail lounge, JT and I agreed that we would give all of you a copy of the book if you just come up afterwards. The whole point of all of this, though, in case you didn't pick it up, is that you can translate the face-to-face interactions that we started out with in the old-fashioned hardware store, the things that sort of built business in the, way a long time ago, into real-life digital actions that you can take once you understand the Relewatt value and you understand what the person coming to you has, what kind of needs they have in terms of relationships. You can translate these kind of secrets which we came up with on how to develop human interactions digitally to become much better at managing and building and managing those the net relationship value networks that we talked about in the very beginning. So anyway, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Hope it was helpful.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Come see us. We'll be in the back of the room.